Neha?
Can we start? Nathan? Ma'am has to unmute herself. Yeah, ma'am, can we start now?
We can start. I was on the mute because I thought other people were speaking. So if you want, we can start. Please let me know. Some Sarita Sharma is presenting.
Madam Sarita Sharma.
Now she's
kindly stop sharing screen.
What is happening? Nathan, where are you?
Ma'am, just a minute. Ma'am, Neha muted.
Nathan, can we start now?
Yes, ma'am. Is there some problem with Neha? We cannot hear Neha, ma'am.
No one will use virtual background. Please kindly change the background.
Hello, Madam Neha.
Nathan, can we start now?
Hello.
Nitin sir.
Leave Neha ना, नेहा को वो कर दो. Who has to start?
Respond to your attendances, everyone.
Yeah. Now we can hear Neha, no?
Okay. I-entry boss.
Hello, Neha, ma'am.
We can't hear Neha at all. Anyways.
मैडम नेहा, हेलो, सुन पा रहे हैं आप? मैडम हैंड्स फ्री अलग कीजिए, आपके सिस्टम से अलग करके आप बोलिए, आवाज आपकी आएगी. प्लीज अलग करिए, वॉल्यूम बढ़ाइए.
There is some issues with her laptop, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's start now. Let's not waste our time because ma'am has got, very, very important things to tell us. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Shabina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am. Can you hear me?
नितिन, क्या बात है? मैम क्यों नहीं सुन पा रही हैं हमारी बात को?
नहीं, मैं सुन पा रही हूँ आपको.
मैम की बात हमारे पास नहीं पहुंच रही है.
मैम क्यों नहीं सुनाई दे?
मैम का सुनाई नहीं दे रहा कुछ.
नहीं, मुझे सुनाई दे रहा है.
To see and listen, but there is some problem with Neha, ma'am.
अच्छा, okay, fine. I'll start it. That doesn't matter. But ma'am, शबीना मैम का क्यों नहीं आवाज आ रही है?
मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही आपको?
She's saying something, but we can't hear her. नितिन?
मैडम, सबीना मैडम की आवाज सभी को आ रही है.
हाँ, मुझे तो सबकी आवाज भी आ रही है. मैम, आप अपने स्पीकर्स का वॉल्यूम बढ़ा लो.
हमारी आवाज आ रही है, सबकी आ रही है, मैम की नहीं आ रही. Shall I log in again?
हेलो, मेरी आवाज आ रही है सबको?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I can hear you, ma'am.
राकेश तिवारी जी, प्रेजेंट करना बंद करें. हेलो मैम, मैं सुन सक रही हूँ आपको. आई कैन हियर यू.
Actually, I could not hear you, ma'am. Actually, that's why. So, honorable chief guest of today's webinar, Professor Kapildev Mishra, Vice Chancellor of Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya. Sir, I extend my gratitude to you to have accepted our request to be on this present on this webinar organized by the Department of English, Mata Gujri Mahila Mahavidyalaya. A very popular Vice Chancellor who has been and with a very experience of more than 25 years, Professor Mishra has shouldered many professional responsibilities in various institutions. He has, to his credit, 7 books and more than 120 research papers. And already 31 students have been awarded with doctorate degree under his able guidance. And
हेलो मैडम, आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी। हेलो
hello,
Ma'am, we can't hear you, ma'am.
why?
Hello, ma'am.
Is
Ma'am,
it,
you've been muted. Now we can hear you, ma'am.
you can hear me, no? So,
Yes, ma'am.
did you hear what I said for Professor Shabina? No?
No, ma'am.
I said I am also indebted to Professor Shabina Nishanova, Head Department of English, Milialameen College for Girls, affiliated to University of Calcutta. She is a teacher, a writer, and an educational administrator with more than 2 decades of experience in the field of higher education. She has been a national resource person to co-create MOOCs, and her lectures have been uploaded on the Swayam portal. She has a very illustrious profile, which my colleague Dr. Dipti Mishra will, tell all of you about herself. I am Professor Saluja from Mata Gujri College, principal of Mata Gujri College. Today, Professor Shabina will be talking on how ICT
Yes,
has
Anushka
changed.
just joined.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
How
Anushka
ICT.
Ray is absent. Okay, let's begin.
I
All
will
of you
request
know
all.
me.
I will request all the participants to kindly mute your microphones. All right. Today, Professor Shabina will be talking on how ICT has changed the work of teachers. She will be throwing light on successful pedagogical strategies using ICT and how we can measure outcomes. I'm sure that all the participants are going to be benefited. And my aim of organizing this webinar, I, as a principal of a higher education institution for last 25 years, the main aim is I have seen why teachers sometimes avoid technology. So there are many reasons to it, but there is no denying the fact that technology is something that holds potential to assist a teacher and to teach your learners and perhaps save your time and energy. The only thing that is that you have to take care of as a teacher is curriculum and technology must be aligned. Means you cannot just pick up any technology and incorporate without thinking how it fits in with your current curricular design. You should be very clear with your objectives. You should be very clear with your outcomes. A teacher should be always outcome driven, and then judiciously you can choose the technology based on the skills that you want to instill in your learners. I'm sure by the end of this webinar, we hope that you will have some idea about how to properly integrate technology in your teaching environment. I'm really grateful to Professor Shabina that she is going to deliberate in depth about how to use the technology, how to incorporate technology in your teaching environment. And I extend my gratitude to all the participants for today's webinar, and of course, my gratitude to Professor Shabina. Have a great session ahead. And we have participants from Gujarat, Maharashtra, West Bengal, and it is actually a national seminar. We have around 248 participants have joined, and I'm really overwhelmed by the enthusiasm shown by the participants. All the best, and I extend my gratitude again to Professor Shabina. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be invited to deliver a solo plenary session on a very vital topic today. I would like to extend my gratitude to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Kapil Dev Mishra of the Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur. Of course, to you, Principal Ma'am, Professor Saluja, and Professor Mishra, Professor Purnima Patel, and above all, I would like to extend my immense gratitude to Professor Mahima Tripathi for introducing me to Mata Gujri Mahavidyalaya. And I hope that this turns out to be a very fruitful interaction for all those people who are sparing their precious time to hear my ideas. Thank you once again. And I would like to begin with Adab and Namaskar. And the topic for today is something that I will be presenting to you through a PowerPoint. It's a very vital topic. It's called Transforming Teaching Today. The first thing is, can you hear me? That's what I want.
Yes, yes.
Now, can I request everybody to mute their microphones? And I will be taking questions at the end of the session around, say, 12:30. So if people could, stop typing and stuff in the middle, it will not be so distracting for everybody. Having said that, having requested for a muting of the microphones, I will now start my presentation. And I hope that you can see this presentation. Please give me a confirmation when you can see this. So I'm starting the PowerPoint. Please give me a minute. Please give me a minute to orient this. Can everybody see this, please? Is this visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is. The screen is visible.
Thank you so much. So, I can still hear some noises in the background. So somebody's microphone is definitely not muted. Thank you so much. Now there is silence and I can just proceed. So ladies and gentlemen, today, transforming teaching, digital tools and online education. I begin with a question, which is that what does not decrease when we share it? And I'm sure you know that the answer is knowledge.
Knowledge.
So somebody's microphone is not muted. Will everybody please mute their microphones? Thank you. So knowledge today is power. And when we share knowledge, we are multiplying that power. So the first idea I present to you in this pandemic-ridden world, where I hope that all of you are safe, is that we must strive to achieve with the power of collaboration. And we teachers and students and scholars, we can create the greatest network of academic collaboration across the globe. There have been many revolutions in knowledge in the past. From the written language, when people used to write down things and therefore they did not have to rely on memory, to the evolution of the printing press, where books and pamphlets could be printed and things could be accessed clearly, to the third revolution, which is our focus today, that is Information and Communication Technology, ICT, on which most of us know a lot. This was generated by technology, by the World Wide Web, and led to a lot of increase and dispersal of information all around with knowledge. But today we have what we call a fourth revolution, because learning today is no longer confined to the classroom. Using this technology, learning is moving out of the classroom and into our pockets, our hands, our arenas, our areas, our drawing rooms, our bedrooms, our spaces. And learning is happening all the time and everywhere. So this is what we call M-learning, that is mobile learning, or U-learning, that is ubiquitous learning, learning everywhere. This is a very simple graph of technology in education and the developments that have happened. I will not read the PowerPoint. I will not insult the audience by reading the PowerPoint. I will simply state the ideas before you and give you a brief explanation, because after all of us are academicians. So we are very familiar with PowerPoints and ideas. So I will not waste your time by reading the PowerPoint, but I will just tell you that there is a difference between distance education and classroom education. The difference is very clearly given here. And in between the two comes what we today know as online education, which started with ICT, that is Information and Communication Technology, which is available nearly in every device that we use, in every application that we use today. So my friends, what is Information and Communication Technology? Information and Communication Technology is defined as given here by Craig Blurton, who says it's a different set, a very varied, a very, should I say, heterogeneous set of tools and resources by which we can operate information. We operate it by communicating, creating, using, storing, managing, retrieving. So we are playing with information. We are operating information using a very varied set of resources and tools, and that is what is ICT. What are the certain aspects of ITC? A, it connects. One aspect is connectivity. The second thing is it develops digital tools. The third is it provides sophisticated applications. The fourth, that it is very widely used every day. We don't even realize when we are using it. Calling an Ola or an Uber is also an ICT application. And most important, my friends, a globalized world requires a technologically and a communication technology enabled workforce. And the workforce comes from educational institutions. So as teachers, we need to understand how important it is to integrate ICT into the curricula, into the pedagogy, into our own applications, and into our teaching and training, as well as into the scholar's way of life. Now we come to the million-dollar question, which we ask and we are asked. क्या ICT से पहले पढ़ाई नहीं होती थी? ये इतना टेक्नोलॉजी क्यों बोलते हैं? टेक्नोलॉजी से पहले पढ़ते पढ़ाते नहीं थे? The answer is yes, होती थी. अभी भी हो सकती है. मगर law of life is change. परिवर्तन ही जिंदगी का नियम है. And therefore, today when we require technology, we require it because the age has changed. Today, the teacher is not just a source of knowledge. The teacher is a facilitator. The nature of teaching has changed. And today, as we can see, the worldwide crisis we are facing, the classroom has come inside the house. So we have no option. So some change is triggered by circumstance. and some change has to be triggered by self-updation. So the changing paradigm today is that the society has become a knowledge-based society. Along with a degree, we need skills, competences, enhanced, should we say, abilities. Today, there is no learning so much or so little. Learning is continuous. Today, there is no fixed class. There are teams, there is teamwork, there is team studying. So the education is no longer teacher-centric. It has become student-centric. What we know as a pedagogy of constructivism, a creative, flexible approach to learning. And this change, this evolution in learning has led necessarily to the incorporation of communication technology, information and communication technology in our teaching systems, in our pedagogy, in our classroom. Today, there is a change in the role of a teacher. The teacher is no longer a transmitter of knowledge. The teacher is a collaborator. The teacher is a mentor. The teacher is a knowledge navigator, because everything is available on the net. The students are very happy seeing that ek chutki mein hamare paas we have so much information. But what is right? What is wrong? What to use? How to use? How much to use? How much to create? How much to incorporate? That has to be guided by the teacher. So the teacher remains primary, but the teacher has changed, evolved. The role of teaching is now a multitasking role. Therefore, the teacher, as a role changer, has led to a change in the role of the student. The student no longer will sit and listen passively. The student has now become an active participant. The student is collaborating with the teacher to produce a new kind of knowledge, to learn with others in a teamwork. So networking, communication, joint effort, collaboration. Knowledge is power. Knowledge shared is power multiplied. That is the principle in today's educational scenario. Most of us in the audience are teachers. I ask you, what do you do? Do you explain, interpret, guide, share, write, counsel, assess, facilitate? You do all this. What else do you do? I'm sure all of us do a lot more. And many of us do things that are innovative. So when the role has evolved, when the goal and purpose of teaching has evolved, therefore our system, our practice, and our approach must also evolve, teachers, because we must understand that change is the only constant in life. And this is a slide to show us the burdens or the responsibilities or the multitasking qualities of a real teacher. Now we come to ICT. As Principal Ma'am said, we are very unwilling to change because teachers are creatures of habit. हम तो 10 साल से यूं ही पढ़ा रहे हैं, हमारे क्लासेस में हम बहुत पॉपुलर हैं, बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं. So it's okay. Let's just, we are scholars and we can teach. We are very, very unwilling to get out of a habit, a system. And therefore, most of us are very unwilling to ask for help or to learn something new. Everyone has a knowledge limit. हमें इतना आता है और उसके आगे नहीं आता, क्योंकि हमारे जमाने में नहीं सिखाया गया था, या हमने नहीं सीखा है, या हम उस मेथड के साथ कंफर्टेबल नहीं. But the point is that now we have to adopt this. And when we have to adopt this, we must do it from scratch. We must understand where we are. Do we have to start? Do we know a little bit? If we know the technology, what do we do with the pedagogy? How do we do things with the pedagogy? So what are the stages? The first stage is to learn. Learn basic technology tools. What to make, how to make, what to use, where to get content from, how to record a video, how to click a selfie, how to get your mobile in the record mode, how to launch a small camera on a tripod. Whatever you don't know, learn it. See a YouTube video, ask a colleague, ask a student. I have learned so many things from my students. Then identify your subject. Apply whatever method you want to your subject and create, transform your teaching. So therefore, the first step is to learn about ICT. How do you learn about ICT? Number one, you gain awareness, you gain knowledge. Next, you study your subject and you understand exactly what part of ICT can you use in your subject. You can't have 100% ICT class, it's not possible. So whether you want to convert 30% of the lecture, 20% of the lecture, 25% of the lecture, that you will decide. When do you want to use it? Do you want to use it in between normal classrooms, in between recorded messages, in between audio, or you want to do audio video together? Do you want to do it in a structured way? Do you want to do it in an interspersed way? And slowly you will become a specialist. When you learn about ICT, you are preparing yourself. Because remember, when we used to go to the malls and there was free Wi-Fi, we used to update our mobile phones. Free Wi-Fi, hai, chalo software update karte. We never update ourselves. Why? Our software is our brain, God-given. Why don't we update ourselves? Why don't we learn new methods about teaching our subjects? So this pandemic crisis has given all of us an opportunity for self-development. Let us use it. Once, my friends, you have learned about ICT, let us start teaching with and through ICT. Use tools which give you output, which enable better absorption of your lesson. Use your traditional lecture method, either through voice notes or just sitting in front of the camera like me. But along with that, use multimodal instruction, use a PowerPoint, use an animation. Encourage your students to explore open learning environments, which we call LMS, Learning Management Systems, like Moodle, like Swayam. So these are things you can do through ICT and with ICT, but for that, you have to first prepare yourself. Now, today, what the teachers need to do, and I will bring you to a very, very important quote by Alvin Toffler, who has said that the illiterate of the 21st century are not those people who cannot read and write, but we who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So today, we need to learn by unlearning and relearning. Whatever we have been taught so far, whatever we have learned so far, we need to unlearn that and relearn something new. So we have to break habit. We have to break convention. We have to break any stereotyped mindset. We must absorb like a sponge, and then we must dispense. So now, after talking about ICT, I bring you to e-learning. E-learning means everywhere learning, electronic learning. And I give you the Armitage and O'Leary definition here, that this is a form of learning which uses digital technology to support and enhance learning. So the principle behind this learning is the principle of scaffolding. You know so much, you read so much, and you are getting support to augment your learning and intensify your learning. And this is what we are faced with today. So a little bit of history is given here about the evolution of e-learning and what all it encompasses. You can take a look at this slide. Whatever we carry in our hands, whatever we use daily, are features that support e-learning. For example, voice records, doc files, Microsoft Office, PPTs, our mobile browsers, and of course we have the bring your own device strategy in so many institutions, which allows you to bring your own tablet or your own mobile or your own laptop to class and conduct class in a lecture hall in that way. So these are mobile device apps that support, or features rather, that support e-learning in today's world. What is the widespread use of e-learning due to? It is due to connectivity. It is due to saving time. It is due to the variety of formats in which we can access it. We can read, we can see, we can hear, we can integrate all three. It is due to the wide variety of learning management systems available today, ranging from Coursera, edX, Moodle. The very fact that it is internet-based, and as we say, Dunya Hamari Muthi Mein, the world is at our fingertips. We have all kinds of devices, we have data availability, and of course, social media. We have a wide variety of social media through which, among other things, learning can also be propagated. What are the advantages of e-learning? The advantages are that there are no boundaries or restrictions. Students are happy because there is variety. Usually it's not very expensive. We can use it to address fast learners, slow learners, backward learners, differently abled learners. So a whole heterogeneous variety of scholars and learners can be addressed. We can save it and revise it. You do not need to be physically present. Your material will be there even if you are absent. And it does not clash if properly planned. Of course, it has disadvantages. There is no interaction socially, directly. There are health-related problems. People are distracted. Some of them, when they use it on their phones, they will be flipping between windows. And in teaching skills where hands-on training is required, this method is not very plausible and at times not very successful either, but it is a beginning. Now I come to the point which is very, very important about teaching and technology. Please remember, you teachers are the human resource. We teachers are indispensable. Technology is just a tool, but technology will never replace you. However, if we do not keep up with the times, there will become two groups of teachers. Those who use technology will replace those who do not use technology. Technology will not replace teaching ever, because technology is just a tool for teaching. It can be capably used and enhanced in the hands of teachers who are the human resource of any society. So what then is the challenge today? Our challenge for all students, all teachers, all scholars, all academicians is to make the transition, to take the big leap forward, to transform traditional teaching into online teaching, because physically our institutions are closed and our students are away. If we make this transition, we will be successful. So transforming teaching today lies in making the transition and rising up to the challenge. We may face difficulties, but we must not quit. So I wish you all the best as we all rise up to this pandemic-induced challenge in today's world and incorporate e-teaching, online teaching, and the use of ICT in our classrooms, in our pedagogies. Now we come to the need of the hour, which is online teaching. How do you convert a lecture into a digital format? My first suggestion, what are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with electronic texts, audio, visual, virtual media, multimedia? What are you comfortable with? Make a mix. The student studies as VARK, visual, auditory, reading, and kinesthetic. Visual, auditory, reading, and kinesthetic. So the VARK method must be involved as much as possible in a classroom and in an online lecture. So number one, who are you teaching for? Number two, what are you teaching? Number three, what are you using to teach this? Number four, what is your learning model? Is it VARK? And finally, number five, what digital tools can you use with ease and comfort? There are big differences between a classroom lecture and a video lecture. In a classroom lecture, it is the chalk in the talk, it is the teacher on the stage, and you are focusing mostly on the content and the language. In a video lecture, you must write for an audience and you must involve your audience by telling stories, by your expressions, by a personal interaction, by using pictures, by using animation. And you must be very clear about what is to be done and what is to be understood, and finally what they will take away from this lecture. So it must be in a very accurate formulaic pattern. To make the transition from real to virtual, you must understand that the course outcome has to be adapted. Your explanation and discussion has to be augmented, complemented. You must have an assessment, either an MCQ or a short recorded presentation. And finally, there must be a feedback, a question and answer session, which will enable your outreach to be much more. So the main elements of online teaching are content, what you want to teach. What is your topic? What is your trust area? And what are the ancillary sub-areas? Next, how you will make the video. Will you make it simply sitting in front of a laptop and recording your talk without any kind of animation or PowerPoint or aid? If you will have aids, what and how will you create those aids? What type will be your assessment? Will it be MCQ? Will it be interactive? Will it be a demo? What will it be? What kind of questions will you take? How will you make a discussion board? And how you will improve or adapt with feedback. So first we come to content. What is an ideal content? What must an ideal content have? If you're teaching an introduction to environmental studies, or you are teaching about markets in economics or money, or you're teaching about disaster management, or in English literature, you are teaching about Indian writing in English, or in political theory, you are teaching federalism. Whatever is your content, it must be informative. You must inform. It must be useful. Somebody's mic is on. Will you please mute your mic? Yes, thank you. It must be informative. It must be useful. It must be original, taken either created by you or taken with attribution from an open resource. And you must be very clear on what outcomes or learning model it serves to fulfill. So to master the technique of preparing an online lesson, first identify your subject matter and your expertise or focus. Number two, get some resources. And how to get resources is the next part of my talk. Use PowerPoint presentations, audio visual animations, use resources on the internet, and you can also give handouts as PDF files, or you can give handouts as a synopsis note. And of course, you must use reference documents which will teach the students on how to create and generate research. The next thing is, how do you get resources? My friends, resources are free. The web is full of resources, and these are called Open Educational Resources, or OER. They are digital, they are openly licensed, they are accessible without paying royalty. They are very useful, especially for teaching, learning, research, and they are permitted for free use and repurposing. Finally, they have been created for the use of educators, students, self-learners, special learners, and all other category of scholars. They are meant to encourage academic scholarship. Now, this is a brief history that it was in a forum organized by UNESCO where this term was coined. And all across the world, we have learning materials in the form of files, PDF, audio, video, websites, text, etc. OER includes all this: course material, map making, textbook, podcast, multimedia, videos. You do not have to pay royalty or license fees, but you must respect the IPR or the intellectual property right, and you must acknowledge that even when you are freely using it. These are some of the examples of open educational resources that are available online. You have courses, syllabi, lectures, homework assignments, quiz, classroom activities, games, simulations, etc. Why open educational resource? Because there was a belief in the UNESCO conference that the world's knowledge is a public good. And technology in general, with the internet or the World Wide Web in particular, provide an extraordinary opportunity for us to collaborate, network, share, use, and reuse knowledge. Once again, somebody's microphone is unmuted. Will you please switch off your microphone? Edmund, please see. Somebody's microphone is unmuted. There's a lot of noise. Yes, thank you. Why do we use open educational resource? Because it's very easy to share. It's very easy to contribute to. Your copyright and your patents are protected. The author is given credit every time it's used. You can add to it, you can review it, you can share it, and you can actually step onto the global platform by using it, creating it, and it improves our teaching very vastly. So the 5 R's in OER are that we must reuse, revise, remix, redistribute, and retain. What do you mean by retain? You own and you make copies of the content. By reuse, you can use it for a various range of purposes in many ways. Revise means we can adapt, we can even modify it. For example, Wikipedia, you can modify it, you can add to it. We can remix it. For example, use a text to create an animation, a mashup, use a text to create a PowerPoint with effects. And of course, you can redistribute it. We can share it with others by adding our own contribution to it if required. So these are the 5 R's of open educational resources. And these are some of the platforms of open educational resources. One of the main things that we all know about is Wikipedia. Wikipedia is one of the most famous examples of open content, which we can use, we can edit, and we can even enhance. EduCommons is another resource, and we have the website given, so you can even just type it and check it on your phones or your laptops right now. You can bookmark it and use it later. It's very easy to use content from EduCommons in your resources. Of course, for all teachers, we have the UNESCO portal. This is one of the very big treasure house, should I say, of resources. And this is the website to it. And when you click on this website, this is what opens. The UNESCO portal, this is what opens. As you can see, it's called Portal for Teachers. Then it gives you a whole lot of guidelines, a whole lot of subjects, an e-library, and it's yours to use, to enjoy, to learn from. Of course, we also have the gateway to 21st century skills, www.thegateway.org. This is another very famous treasure chest of e-resources for learning and teaching, freely accessible, 50,000 and above collection, and available for use to all, again, subject-wise. We have our own internet, the Internet Archive, archive.org. We can use our Internet Archive and collect and collate our resources from here. Now we come to interactive simulations, for which we have PHET, P-H-E-T. This gives you research-based simulations, specially for teaching the science and math subjects to students till the university level, and it's more than 130. So you can Google PHET and you can use that if you are into the science and math stream. I'm going through this once again. We have Wikipedia, which all of us know, EduCommons, UNESCO portal, Internet Archive, and of course, the gateway to 21st century skills. With interactive simulations, we have PHET. Now, when we need videos, photos, we have 3 royalty-free sites. Use them: Pixabay, Dayful, and Pexels. I have a suggestion for you. Always use a secondary email account. Do not compromise your primary email account, which contains your personal, professional, banking details on any of these sites. Not that it's going to be compromised, but just to be on the safe side, make another email account with something like academicpurpose@gmail.com or your name with academia@gmail.com, or for example, my name, shabinaomar.oer@gmail.com, and then use these sites, some of which may ask you for your email and ask you to create an account. So always use a backup email to create your account so you can access it very easily. Then, to download music, background music, sound effects for an animation or a video or a poetry recitation or a concept explanation, or just for your slides to go forward, use Bensound, Freesound, or Sanskrit. And these will help you add some life and some variety and some dynamism to your online teaching video. Some more examples of OER are OER Commons, Gujri, CK12, connections. Everybody knows about Khan Academy. Khan Academy and Salman Khan, everyone knows about that gentleman. So Khan Academy, then the tools, this is, you will get this at tools, etc. Now we come to open educational resources in India, the last part of my talk. I have tried to put in as much as possible within 45 minutes. OER in India, we all know about the National Knowledge Commission in 2007, the Gyan Darshan channel by IGNOU, and later the National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology in 2009. These are some of the landmarks of the Government of India in the field of OER, digital education and e-learning. Some Government of India initiatives are CLASS, NROR, ePathshala, Saransh, Shala Siddhi, Digital India ICT Policy for School Education, and Operation Digital Board, which is still in progress. Some of the major initiatives in higher education were the Gyan Darshan channel, which we all know, most of us know that this offers a long-distance virtual classroom. Then the Gyan Vani and the e-Gyan Kosh. And of course, we all know about Shodh Ganga, the collection or collation of all the doctorate theses. So we have Gyan Vani, we have the e-Gyan Kosh, we have the UGC countrywide classroom, which is on the Doordarshan channel. And of course, one of the very important things is the NMEICT, or the National Mission of Education through Information and Communication Technology, which is an MHRD scheme which has two components: A, providing connectivity and access, and creating e-content, the generation of e-content. NPTEL is something all of us know, that this is the joint venture of the IITs and the IISc. It provides us with the video courses and e-learning resources in engineering sciences, technology, management, and humanities. Now we come to Swayam, which all of us know as teachers, because very recently, the last 2 years, Swayam has started ARPIT, ARPIT, the annual refresher program in teaching. This is an in-service training for teachers and educators of all levels, especially college and university. And this offers you an online course of 3 weeks, which you can do for a shorter time, for a longer time, sitting at home in your own, should I say, not own sweet time, own convenient time. So the full form, of course, is the Study Web of Active Learning for Young Minds. It is an indigenous educational platform developed for using hosting courses and hours of learning, which ranges from school education to undergraduate, postgraduate, engineering, law, and other professional courses. Other initiatives, of course, of the government are, this is very, very important, the National Digital Library of India at IIT Kharagpur, which is ndl.iitkgp.ac.in. This is an online resource available to all. So I would urge you to please go and check out the content. The second, of course, is the National Academic Depository called nad.gov.in. So once again, please check this out also as a resource sharing and collaborating platform. And finally, the National Knowledge Network, that is nkn.gov.in. I would request you to go and see the benefits of this project, which is actually aimed at establishing a strong Indian academic network. It's a pan-India knowledge base, and I'm sure we will all find a lot of benefits and a lot of beneficial areas in it. Here we have some of the open educational resource initiatives which are global. We have Sakshat, we have Teacher Portal, we have NIOS, and of course we have Berkeley, Princeton, Rice University, and the OERcommons.org. All these are open educational resource archives. We can all access this, and as per our subject, as per our preference, we can use content from here to create our digital learning videos, our digital lessons, and contribute to e-teaching and e-learning. Finally, we come to the creation of MOOC, the Massive Online Open Course. It is massive because it has thousands of learners. It is open because there is no restriction on age, criteria, or any kind of service or work experience. It's open to all. Some are free, some are paid, but the fact remains that it is open. It is a course because it is academic, it has credits, it gives you knowledge, and it tests your knowledge retention. It is online because it is always in real time. You can access it using real-time availability and using your internet connectivity. So a MOOC is an organized educational event. It is like a face-to-face classroom. The only difference is that it is not in front of one another. It is across the screen. It has a time period. It has a learner outcome. And it is a proper educational event. And one of the easiest examples of all kinds of MOOCs is just go to the Swayam platform, create your account and see it. It has a lot of advantages. Yes, you can choose, you can collaborate, you can do away with distance, you can continue learning, you can always remain updated. It saves your time for traveling, etc. But at the same time, it does not teach you skills very successfully, and it is usually a one-way communication because two people cannot speak. One person speaks, one person absorbs, and then you can give your questions on the feedback or in writing. So the Government of India initiative, which is very successful, is Swayam. It is based on 3 principles: access, equality, and quality. It tries to provide the best quality learning resources across the country and to bridge the divide between the haves and the have-nots. It is the integrated national platform for online courses, and everything else about it is self-explanatory and can be seen on the site in the link. It has a clear 4-quadrant pedagogy or system, and this is what even we should follow when we are preparing a course or a lecture or a class. A, tutorials. That is what the instructor teaches. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour. B, e-content. What you are giving the students to read, understand, and to follow. 3, test. And 4, assessment. 4, feedback. So first you teach through a video, through a PPT, through a film, through an animation, through some explanation, through some audio-visual images. 2, you give the student a handout, a booklet, a content, a PDF file. 3, you take a test. And 4, you get into a feedback. The MOOC is mostly available on a learning platform known as Moodle. And what do we mean by Moodle? We mean a modular, object-oriented, dynamic learning environment. And today it is the world's most popular learning platform. You can experiment with Moodle and Gnomio, which are the 2 most powerful learning management systems, by clicking on any of these 2. And here is a list of some other LMS platforms for you. Teachable, Thinkific, and Blackboard are terrific LMSs. And I'm sure most of you know about Adobe Captivate Prime. Schoology, yes, Schoology is specifically for school teachers, and I'm sure you'll find it very interesting. So what is the need of the hour today? The need of the hour today is to think, unlearn, relearn, learn, update, introspect, organize, and transform. We need to transform and we need to upgrade and update ourselves and make our learning and teaching more relevant to the times. I think I've finished on time. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, it
I
was
have finished on time. I've managed to keep it for 45 minutes.
Ma'am,
I'm very happy.
ma'am,
I'm
the sec-
sure that they are not bored.
ma'am, definitely not. And I'm feeling like it should go on and go on, ma'am. It's very engaging. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. Ma'am, now I will call upon Ms. Vibha Singh and Ms. Priya Bharadwaj for Q&A session.
Absolutely. In the meanwhile, I'll just read through the chats. I think some people have left questions and answers. I'll just,
Hello.
yes, I can hear you.
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, I'm Priya Bhardwaj. Ma'am, there are certain questions.
I'm trying to read through the questions, Priyaji. I'm just trying to read through them, but you can just guide me to the questions and maybe I'll give the answer.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. First is one of the major issues related with online teaching or learning is passivity of the students, especially when it comes to school going students, especially when it comes to school going students. When what we can, sorry, what can be the
Ma'am,
possible measures to?
are these questions written down?
Yes, ma'am. It's up. It's quite up. It was. I should let you know, ma'am. It's really up. I don't know.
I'll just
Okay.
do something, ma'am. Let me
I
read
think
the
we can
questions. I'm getting
synchronous and
confused. So
asynchronous teaching we can tell them. No?
yeah.
Sorry, ma'am.
I think
Sorry.
I'll just start reading the questions. So I'll just see this. There is a Miss Deepika Chokse asking me that if we can get the PPT. So I will try and share the PPT with the organizers, Deepika ji. So please take the PPT from the organizers or write to me. You have my email, so please write to me. There is a Bharati Duseja ji. Many doubts are not in the mind now, but still technical teaching can have more impactfully disadvantages than the advantages. Very unclear question, Bharti ji. Please type clearly so I'll be able to see it better. I can't see any more questions.
Ma'am, it's just up. Ma'am, Neha Sharma, ma'am,
Yes, I
asked this
have
question.
Bushrat Zehan ji, who says, in this pandemic, where we are all depressed and tensed, unable to understand how to work this out. So, Bushrat Zehan ji, all of us are definitely tensed and very uncertain about the future. But I think that we can use learning to get out of this depression and we can use learning to empower ourselves.
Hello.
No more. Yes, I can't see any more, ma'am. Yes, here. Neha Sharma ji. One of the major issues related
Yes,
with
ma'am.
online learning and teaching is the passivity of the students, especially when it comes to school going students. What can be the possible measures to deal with it, ma'am? One of the possible measures to deal with passivity is to encourage the students to interact. If somebody's mic is yes. Yes. So one of the ways to engage school going students is by increasing their interaction. So if you increase their interaction, then I think it's going to be much easier for you to engage them. Any other questions, ma'am?
Ma'am, I have one question. It's my personal. Can I ask?
Yes, absolutely.
Ma'am, as I've just come out as a student also, and I'm learning. Ma'am, going for longer period on internet or even on laptops or mobile, ma'am, it's quite hectic
Tedious. Very
mentally and
tedious.
physically.
Absolutely.
And ma'am, how can we deal with this, ma'am? Because
We
in
can
longer in future, yes, ma'am.
because I think we can deal with it by making it into very small capsules of learning, very small capsules of teaching, and then giving a break with an activity.
Okay, ma'am.
So we can just, curtail the video length and then give a break with some activity, and then once again get back. Like, have a Google form quiz or fill up a Google form in the middle to take
Okay,
a
ma'am.
feedback of how much they've learned. We can do that.
Okay, ma'am. So sorry, one more, ma'am. With
Yeah,
this
no
Google
problem.
form, it just occurred to me, ma'am. We will be planning on with the Google Forms only to take or conduct exams online in
Mhm.
near future, ma'am. How can we
Mhm.
protect cheating?
That is a very technical question. That needs a lot of debate. It needs a
Okay.
lot of thinking also, because there are still, policies are still being made about this. So there is a national think tank which is involved in this, and this is a very big challenge.
Okay,
This
ma'am.
needs to be thought about in detail.
Yes, ma'am. Um, ma'am, it was
I
really
think
lovely
we
to hear.
must learn to trust our students first. Why assume that there will be cheating?
No, no, of course,
I would
ma'am.
not
Sure.
assume that there will be cheating.
Of course, ma'am. So, over to you, Purnima, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Priya ma'am. So, ma'am, today's lecture on transforming teaching today enriched us with the knowledge how online learning is catalyzing a pedagogical shift in how we teach and learn. Ma'am, you very well explained about this transition of teaching learning process, which results in innovative teaching, where there is a shift away from top-down lecturing and passive student to a more interactive, collaborative approach, in which the students and the teacher co-create the learning process. So we can say that the teacher's role is changing from a sage on the stage to the guide on the side. The online teaching process requires the teacher to act as a facilitator by using digital tools, as you have already told, ma'am, and by imparting education and organizing activities, engage the students directly rather than relying heavily on memorization. It's upon the teacher who plays a vital role in developing and maintaining an effective online learning environment, and that must possess a unique set of digital tools and ICT to perform successfully. We have seen, ma'am, that some instructors from the traditional classroom environment will easily adapt to the online model, while others may find the transition challenging. But everybody can deal with it because technology is something that is mind based and not the skill based. Once you make up your mind, then you will definitely acquire the skill. So thank you, Professor Shabina Amar, ma'am, for enlightening us with this. And you also made us realize that change is the only thing that is constant. With this, I,
Thank
Purnima
you.
Patel, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
With this, I, Purnima Patel, on behalf of the management of Mata Gujri Mahila Mahavidyalaya, extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Professor Kapil Dev Mishra, sir, for inspiring us, our resource person, Professor Shabina Umar, ma'am, for such an enriching and engaging session, our principal, Professor Vinita Kaur Saluja, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity, Dr. Vanna Tiwari, ma'am, for her guidance.
Thank you so much, Professor Shabina. It was a wonderful session, ma'am. And I'm sure, like so many thank you. And I can see the feedbacks and pouring in with full of praises for you, ma'am. And thank you so much for the lovely and enlightening session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
I'm
to
very
all the
grateful,
participants.
very, very grateful to all of you for doing this, for curating this, for inviting me. It has been a very, very wonderful session. It has been a very, very wonderful time that I have had. I'm glad to see everybody. Now I can see everybody. And once again, thank you once again. It's been a very, very wonderful session. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Namaskar.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.